Hello everyone. So this video is going to be a little bit different. I've seen a lot of comments on the boards and just in general about cross-stitching from a tablet or your phone, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. So I used to cross-stitch from the original, and then I started cross-stitching from a working copy. And at this point, I have to say my favorite is from my phone or my tablet. It depends where I'm at. I can stitch from either. And what I use is a program called Foxit. So it's called Foxit MobilePDF, and I know this is available for iPhone or iPad, Apple products, whatever. So what I do is I just have my patterns on here. I click on the pattern I'm working on, and this is zoomed in, of course, and so it's zoomed in, and when I want to mark that I just finished a stitch, I'll go back so I can show you. There are these icons in the corner, and instead of sticking my finger in the way, we'll use a stylus. And I just click on the little pencil stylus, and then I click on the pencil stylus again, and if you long press on the stylus, it brings up the colors, so you can change your colors. And then I just draw a line through the stitches I've done. And then I turn it off again so that I don't have a problem with the screen turning off, and when I turn it back on, marking on my pattern or anything. So that's kind of how it works. It's really easy, and you can zoom in. Let's see, how far can we zoom in? And this is all you have to do, and this is as far as you can zoom in, which is really pretty big. I usually go right about, that's usually where I set to. It's pretty big, but for convenience that works pretty good for me. You can get a good size view of it. So it's, like I said, it's really easy to do. I can set here and do it. I'm, at my desk right now. I can sit on the couch. Now, I don't always feel the need to mark a pattern. So, for something simpler that has fewer colors and larger blocks of colors, I don't feel the need to mark my patterns. So, for example, let me finish my stitch, and if my cat gets out of the way. So, for example, yes, kitty, I love you, go away. She wants food, and she's not getting any until dinner time. So I'll just mark my pattern. Sorry, cat rubbing up against my hand while filming is just not very nice. So when you click the home button, it asks you to save, and the first time I do not save on the original file, I save as a new file, but after that I always save to the original because it's saving to the marked up copy. And I changed the name to marked up or something to let me know it's my working copy, and then that's the only file I keep. So, sorry, cat's really being obnoxious. You'll notice with this pattern it's not marked up. Yes, there, you want some attention. Not supposed, no, I can't let her around electronics. She chews on electronics. she chewed on my e-reader, which was just delightful. But you'll notice there's nothing marked up. I really don't see the need to mark up something like this, but you could if you wanted to. Now, the other thing somebody asked me about, and it was along the same lines with the tablet, is if, yes, and my tablet even has cross-stitching on it. If I go to my play stand, and I go to my library, magazines, I have a couple of cross-stitch magazines. Now, this is the Cross Stitcher magazine, and what I wanted to show you is this is kind of the layout, and I've decided I want to do this pattern. You can zoom in really well and move the pattern around. So if you don't feel the need to mark, you can cross stitch directly from this. They, however, do not let you print it off or anything like that. So you can't print it and you can't mark it off, which is frustrating for some. It's not a big problem for me. If they had a complicated design, that would be a bigger problem. But even then, I used to not stitch, mark up my patterns, so I could probably deal with it, but it's not ideal. Now the other thing, oh, it finally works. I was going to say, the world of cross-stitching was not working. This is the first time this has worked on my tablet, so I don't know what the deal was, but it's now working, so I will take that back. And Crazy Cross Stitch has worked as well. So those are the three I've tested. No, I don't want that. Wrong buttons. I'm just not with it today. There are a few more cross-stitch magazines on the Play Store that I plan on testing out. Yeah, I haven't found the apps to be that useful for the Android anyway. I don't know about the others, but there are 7 magazines for cross stitch. Now the card one holds no appeal to me, so I probably won't test that one out. I plan on testing out the cross stitch collection, and I may even test out the cross stitch gold, although I don't know, it is pretty expensive even monthly. I think if I go, no, I don't want to buy, wrong button. Yeah, I can only do a yearly subscription, whereas most of the others I can do it by month, and that's my preference, especially when I'm just trying this stuff out. So, and if you look, unless Google's changed it, yeah, see, that's a much better, you know, $4 and you get a 30-day free trial. Seems like a much better way to do it. So that's kind of how I'm planning on doing it. Right now I know I've liked the World of Cross Stitch a few times, so I'll probably end up subscribing to this one at some point. And I have subscribed to the Cross Stitcher, and I'm not sure if I'm going to subscribe to the Cross Stitch Crazy or not. I did not find anything in this issue that I really loved, so I don't know. I may just buy the magazines as I go. For me though, this is much more cost effective than the $12 at, you know, Joann's, which is where I normally find them on a more consistent basis, or sometimes Barnes & Noble. So I just wanted to let you know, yeah, it's not so bad to use if you don't need to print your pattern out or mark it. Now I think that's a bit of a ripoff considering how much you're paying for them. I mean, even $4 or $5 a month, you know, that still adds up over time. And the fact that they won't let you mark up your pattern, you can't print your pattern, so it very much is limiting to what you can and can't do. Is a little annoying. There should at least be something where, you know, you could, hey, I really want this pattern, can I have it as a PDF or something. So, I mean, I understand they don't want their patterns getting out there, so make it so I can mark it up if I want to. But, you know, if you scroll in, you can get a pretty decent size on there. So if you're somebody who has a tablet, you could even do this on your phone. This would be big enough depending on the size of your phone screen. It would stand that they should make them scroll just a little bit more, but I can't complain too much. So that's kind of how that works. I personally find it to be a better value than yeah, I'll be able to talk eventually. I think this is a little bit better deal for me than the magazines right now. I have a lot of hobbies and I have a lot of magazines that I keep. I keep all of my cooking magazines, and I've had to limit how many of those I buy at this point. I try and find the recipes that I really just love and get them online and put them on my online recipe stuff. I do photography, I do other things, and I get a lot of magazines, and I have magazines on my pets, and there's a lot of magazines. And for me, since I tend to like cross-stitching off of my tablet anyway, this is a good deal for me. I would tell you to give it a try. You know, it's free for the first 30 days as long as you select that you want to subscribe. Otherwise, it's just you're gonna buy an issue. I know Amazon has the same type of deal. However, theirs is regional based, so I can't get a lot of the cross-stitch magazines from the UK in the United States, and when I could, they were charging $12. I'm not paying $12 for a digital copy of a magazine. It's not happening. Now, I don't know if that was just my error, but it wasn't happening. A lot of it was regional code locked, so I just wasn't as happy with that. And the Play Store works for me. I will not be Android is my thing of preference, so, but I am sure that the the Apple Store, that's what it's called, yeah, I'll remember eventually, has an equivalent. Like I said, I personally don't know because I don't use it, but I do know that you can do the patterns on there. So, you know, I would tell you to give it a try. If nothing else, try using your phone. The one nice thing about the phones over the tablets is I can set my phone like right there, and I can stitch right, and just glance over and there's the pattern. So that's the nice thing about doing it off of your phone versus the tablet. And if you were to store your patterns on a Dropbox account, you can sync them, and I'm speaking for Android here. I don't know what the Apple equivalent is. You can put your patterns on a Dropbox account and stitch them from any mobile device. Whether it be your tablet, or it be your computer, or it be your phone, and then they are all synced. And I don't want to go there, I went there. So that's something to think about. It does tend to make your life a little bit easier. So I do quite like stitching that way. I am not stitching Nightmare Before Christmas from my tablet. It is being done from a paper copy, just because I cannot figure out how to make the PDF programs rotate the pattern 90 degrees. That's, instead of traditionally stitching from bottom to top, which is how I stitch, I'm stitching starting on the right side and working my way to the left side. Just because of the size of the frames I have, that was the way I was going to have to stitch that design. So the way the pattern's printed out, I'm having to lay it on its on a side 90 degrees versus the way the tablets show it. And for me, that's just the way I've been able to figure out how to stitch it with the least amount of problems. And so I'm just stitching it from paper. Not my ideal, but I'm not going to fuss with it any more than I already have, and it works. So, you know. But the other thing I wanted to talk about was the Google Hangouts. A couple people said they would be interested, and I did a test run the other day, and now that I've figured out how to turn on my mic and all of that stuff on my webcam, I'll probably just for now toss up a Google Hangout session when I have the time, which for the most part is going to be during the day, as I'm not going to be doing a Google Hangout session in the evening when my husband's off or is up. It just wouldn't work. So you know, you might keep an eye out for it. I don't know when I'll start doing them. I'm supposed to be having maintenance in to do a new linoleum floor in my kitchen, so, and I don't know yet when they're going to do it, and I don't really want interruptions while I'm doing a video like that. So, but, you know, I thought it might be nice. And my camera is out of batteries, and I just finished that section of stitching, so I'm going to call it quits and say thank you for watching. Bye.